Gran Turismo 7 got its first update today after a maintenance period that took most of the game offline as usual, and it's a pretty big one, at least in size. The almost 1GB download will probably have a few people raising their expectations as to what it may include, but it's too early for new content. The devs have already committed to a lengthy post-launch support with new cars and tracks, but right now they're focused on fixing some of the issues with the release of the game, and that's exactly what this update does. So, what's new? There's only one new feature which I'll get to later on in the video, and the rest is pretty much bug fixes. I'm not gonna go over everything cause it's a pretty long list to be honest, and a lot of it is pretty minor stuff, so I'll just leave a link to it in the description down below in case you wanna check it out. That being said, let's talk about some of the bigger fixes with this update. Menu Bugs is a new feature that's used to help you progress through the game. That is pretty much the way Gran Turismo 7 walks you through every feature available in the game as you unlock them. Apparently, people were being locked out of progression because one of the menu bugs wasn't updating correctly. This has been fixed with this new update, and if you were one of the very few affected, installing the patch should allow you to progress again. There's also a fix for an issue where the Sector 2 of the bronze target in the circuit experience of the streets layout of Willow Springs was impossible to achieve. The patch notes also mention a fix for the weather in all race events. Now this is very vague and it would be very helpful to know exactly what they mean with this. Gran Turismo 7 has a lot of frame dips when racing in the ring with too many cars on the screen at once, but these frame dips also happen in certain tracks regardless of weather conditions. In Tokyo Expressway, for example, you always lose a couple frames when you're driving by this bridge section right here. In Deep Forest, every time you come up to this twisted section preceding the tunnels, you get a few frame drops. It's very easy to replicate and it's something Digital Foundry reported on their technical analysis. Hopefully this is something they're able to address in another patch. There was an issue where Replace and Demo Replace would not play until the end, and it's now been fixed. HDTV Test did a video a few days ago talking about an issue with the exposure and saturation where the changes you made when you start the game for the first time would not be reflected in the preview screen. This has now been fixed. There's a trophy called Ring Royalty you're supposed to unlock after you clear all the license tests on wet surface. A lot of people reported that the trophy wasn't popping up even after meeting the requirements. This update fixes that, but unfortunately you're gonna have to clear them all over again to get the trophy to unlock. They end the patch notes by mentioning that various issues have been addressed, and as usual, this is gonna be something the community will find out over time. As for new content, they added 64 music tracks to Music Replay and added a new wind direction and wind speed indicators. You can see them right under the map on the top right of the screen. I can also confirm that this is dynamic and it'll change over time in longer races depending on the weather conditions. I really didn't notice anything significant with the wind simulation, and the fact that the arrow doesn't change direction based on your location on the track seems a bit weird to me. Not sure if that's how it's supposed to work or if it's a bug. People complain that the UI in Gran Turismo games have a lot of clutter already, so now you have one more extra thing taking up space. There's also a list of known issues the devs have been updating with stuff the community has been reporting, which is helpful to cross-reference so you can figure out if there's something that still needs to be fixed. I'll leave a link to it in the description down below as well in case you want to check it out. But that's all I have for this one. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one.